would like to talk about, ask a question, and it's related to real freedom. We find that most people want real freedom, and the expression of it comes in various ways uh, in the daily life. And one of these ways to express this personal freedom at a surface level is one's right to life or death. So, what do you say about the fact that in certain societies, the very old or the old could take away their own lives in order not to be a burden to those whom they love? And in this instance, I have Japan in mind. And also, what do you think about things like euthanasia or mercy killing? It is supposed to highlight the idea of love. So, what do you say about them?
First off, Charles, yes, it was Joseph. I was looking at the Skype there. And these particular things that are taking place in the world, yeah, I don't make judgments on them. People decide what they will do. Just like the chemtrail pilots, they get in the plane, they fly, they spray everybody. And, you know, these are people on the planet, even people they know, even their families, whatever. You know, and they work at the different agencies for the government, and it's all demise. And yeah, so people make choices, and because they don't understand, I've seen people come and go, see them on the real side. They've made these choices. The surface world here is very interesting how it is. And things are basically, you know, it's all kind of wrapped up here. And so each person is making a decision every moment, and they figure it out from that moment, from that decision. What's so cool about taking the time to really recognize the isness and real freedom, that's a big step. That's something that's a recognition. It's not something that's going to be granted to you, you might say. Life already is what it is. It's more than any freedom that you can consider, but you got to still recognize it. And you can have experiences with it. We're all having experiences in life in our own way, but it's the recognition that counts and what will you do. And so what these people are deciding to do, again, that's a personal thing, isn't it? That's with their personal life. In some way, they're thinking that, oh, we don't want to be a burden, so we'll just kill ourselves or whatever. Well, that's, you know, I'm not going to say yes or no to that. That's a choice that people make. They've been brought up a certain way. They think certain things. Or maybe they don't want to continue their life and they use that as an excuse. But that's their business. That's a personal issue. And again, as people learn to focus, see, that's what I'm presenting is focusing on the all-natural environment, which is actually the whole of life. It starts here at ground zero, which is the surface world, and it's everything. So as people learn to focus on that and let these personal ideas go, because that's all they are, is an idea. It's like, oh, I'm a burden to my family, so I'll just get rid of myself. That's an idea you create. But when you focus on the all-natural environment, especially now on the planet, and see what's going on, well, then you're not thinking about those things, are you? I have personal life too. And I really don't like to think about it too much. I'd rather do things that make sense with the whole of life. Gee, that's a lot better. That's even better than fun and happiness. So again, it's really kind of attitude and attention and making the choice. Well, because these people have been brought up a certain way, they've been taught and reared by their parents, their teachers, whatever. They follow suit with all these ideas. In other words, this world, because of how complex it is, you know, the indigenous people, they made sense of their life. They had communities. They supported each other. This is what I suggest in Africa. Yeah, I know it's hard. It's hard for all of us. You know, in the business world, actually people support each other. That's really what they're doing. And I'm not rah-rah for the business world, but it's here. We're dealing with it. And so everybody's got to figure it out. So if it takes more people to figure it out, do it. But, you know, the world is marketed with so many deceptive, distorted ideas, and it's a lot now. And this is how the world is. It's not going to magically go away. You got to face it and deal with it. So again, my focus is the all-natural environment. That entails everything, but you need to recognize it. You need to take the time to recognize it. And then these little personal things, yeah, they're still going to be there like a little mosquito flying around the room. You're still going to have your personal thing. But, you know, because we're in creation, and this is how it is. It's cause and effect. And that little mosquito is part of the wake-up call, too. It's part to wake up. It's there to bother you, okay? Because I'm really bothered here in creation. I don't really care for it because it's really a bother, and so is this earth. And I'm not too happy here at all. I don't look for happiness because it's not about happiness. I look for what's real and what makes sense. Yes, and what inspires me is like people stepping up, like Mariam speaking this morning, and people like that who have the courage in these other countries where things are really bad, coming forward and saying whatever, and them just finding this, and just so grateful to see them, so grateful to see them wake up. I'm grateful that I'm aware and I have this awareness, so I utilize it. So yes, Charles, it's a lot for all of us here. And so, but you know, all these issues, you know, you look at the political scene too. I'm going to bring this in. They don't talk about the natural environment. Oh, they could talk about climate change. Oh, that's all deception anyhow. It's all baloney and deception. You know, politicians have one job, a politician, and that is to deceive others. That's it. That's their job. Okay. Now, I've created images with Ava. It says Duane Lee Hepner for president. Well, nowhere does it say president of the United States, because that's not the idea. But people think that, so I know that. That's why I put it like that. But I don't say that, because it's not about that. You know, there are presidents of companies. Yeah, they're not political. And the president that I'm referring to, it's not political. You know, the politicians are supposed to manage, but again, it's mismanagement because it's only management for themselves, and they really don't care about others. It's all about control and domination. And so I thought I'd play this little game too and see how people react. So the idea is there. And I did sign up, you know, so-called officially with the Green Party and the candidate thing, whatever, online. You know, just sign up. It's like anybody can do it. And so the idea is another avenue to approach people, but they're going to think what they want. They're going to think, oh, he's running for the president of the United States. No, I'm not. Not at all. You see, I'm creating my own president, just like I created the new presentation, creating my own position. I'm not campaigning. I'm not looking for votes, etc. I've made my statement. I support the all-natural environment, supporting all of us who will step up and do that. That's the idea. See, I'm making it fun, but I'm not going along with the system. And, you know, when, as an example, just like what you brought up with these people killing themselves or whatever, those are issues that people create. And the politicians create issues and red flags for people to be deceived and distracted. That's what they do. That's their job because they're paid off. I don't do that. Again, the focus is the all-natural environment supporting all of us. And yeah, I utilize the system. I'm here. You know, I have a body in the United States. I don't proclaim myself as American, but I do have ID according to that. But it's just a use vehicle that I have here. But realistically, I've created a real position that makes sense. It doesn't align itself with the politicians or all this stuff because they're all deceptive. But look at all the people agreeing to it. So again, and what are the politicians? What are they always talking about? Issues that they've created. If it's the war, if it's this or whatever it is, they're always talking about the issues because they're out to deceive others. I'm not talking about the issues. So what you've brought up Those are personal issues, ceremonies, rituals, hara-kiri, whatever. These are personal issues that people have created. And again, my focus is the all-natural environment. It makes sense. That's where the real guides stand. That's what the isness, etc. That's why they back what I'm doing, because I'm making sense with it. And that's why they don't back anybody else with the little spiritual paths and the Dalai Lama and the Pope and all those little masters and gurus out there and whoever, because again, it's just blah, blah, blah. It all goes nowhere. It keeps people passive and deceives people. So I have fun creating positions that make sense with the whole of life. That's a real challenge to figure out and to recognize it and see it. Who will step up and do that? So these little personal issues people have, hey, have fun. Your choice. I'm not concerned. It's none of my business. I don't want to know. Realistically, I don't even watch the news. Ava tells me this or that, or somebody else does. It's like, okay, whatever. Oh, there's a war here, this going on, whatever. Again, these are created issues to distract people. And they're used as red flags to fool people. It's what they are. And so that takes all people's time when they watch the 6 o'clock news. They think that stuff's important or they're gaining something. They're gaining nothing except being deceived. And that is, you create your own position with the whole of life. Boy, that makes a lot more sense. Yes. Go ahead, Charles.
Okay, Duane. Yeah, my observation is that lovers of ancient wisdom have immortalized it in beautiful, good-sounding songs and even in stone. Like the lyrics of a song I'm going to read out shortly. I think their motto is, as it was in the beginning, it is now, and ever shall be. Amen. So I think that's the basis of the ancient wisdom. Why people venerate it. Now listen to the words of this, the lyrics of this song to understand what I'm saying. It go like this: holy words long preserved for our walk in this world, they resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart words of life, words of hope. Give us strength, help us cope. In this world, wherever we roam, ancient words will guide us home.
Hi.
So, ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. So we have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words impart. So, Duane, as life on this level, we've seen that life on this level is made up of very ancient sayings and ancient things. And with the passage of time, you know, everything is some sort of respected and honored. And what I want to ask you is, do you have even an iota of respect for the ancient wisdom? Seeing that your own very words will become ancient wisdom at some point, but will still guide people to find the real universes. So what do you say about this?
Well, again, this is why, you know, as I've gone through what I have to this point to where I could see that there is a new nowness to be decided. Okay, and it has to be decided. You know, the boys guided me, but I had to figure it out. Just like your teacher in school had to figure it out. So according to the ancient wisdom in that, and as you read that, that's a cute little song or story, and there's a lot of them. You know, we're all, you might say, we're all walking on fortune cookies, Charles, aren't we? And you can hear the crack under our feet as the cookie breaks, and that little piece of paper comes out with those little sayings on them. You know what I'm talking about? You know what fortune cookies are? Well, you're in China. You should know this. Japan, Japanese, whatever. Fortune cookies.
No, not exactly.
Really? You've never eaten in a Chinese restaurant? They give fortune cookies, and when you break the cookie open, there's a little piece of paper in there that says, oh, your future looks bright, or you're going to meet someone new, or something like that. These are fortune cookies. They've been around forever. Yeah.
Oh, it's very prevalent here. You have the
Yes, of course it is. There's Chinese fortune cookies. I used to eat at Chinese restaurants when I was young, and we always liked to get, at the end of the meal, they'd always give you a couple of fortune cookies. Yeah, and then you crack them open to see what your little reading was in the fortune cookie, that little strip of white paper. Yeah. And so realistically, the world is walking on fortune cookies. Everybody's looking to find their fortune, aren't they? Their whatever, their words of wisdom. Yeah. And so, and those cookies got a lot of sugar in them too. And, you know, most people have diabetes. So again, it's not a good thing, is it? So ancient wisdom is interesting. But again, what I've learned through the business world and doing contracts and confronting the government, doing all these things, you know what? It's just words, and you can rearrange them any way you want, and they sound really good. But when you look up at the sun shining, gee whiz, it all means nothing, doesn't it? Yeah, the sun, recognizing what the sun is demonstrating, wow, that supersedes everything. So much for ancient wisdom. And, you know, we've got the ancient wisdom. We got the lovers in the world. We got all kinds of stuff here, you know, etc. We got the vegetarians. We got this or that. We got all this stuff. It all looks good, doesn't it? Commercialized. And the world keeps getting worse. Huh. Why is that? Because most people are not aware of their real awareness and what life really is. It's all some kind of process going on. And so much for ancient wisdom. Oh yeah, it can carry you through the day. And like the words in there, hope. Again, yeah, and that just keeps going. You just keep hoping things will get better, or it's going to be nicer, or we're going to be happier, or whatever. Just chasing these ideas. Well, fine. Everybody has the right to do that. But that's not what life is. And so people, again, they have been rehearsed in the personal sense that life's all about love and caring. Well, it is. I do that too here. I do. I care a lot. That's why I do this. I face everything because I care. And most people, they use the excuse that they're afraid or whatever. Well, it's just that they really don't care. They just care about themselves, their personal life, till they grow old and they forget they're here. But there is a bigger picture. I see it. But again, compare all of that to the sun shining. Is there a difference? Which do you choose? Your choice.